Hello, hello. I'm going to give everybody just a second to jump on. Please say hi as you're jumping on. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Hey, Katie. Are you still driving? You're not home yet, right? Hey, Jean. Good to have you. I don't always get to see you on live, so it's nice to have you on live. What are you guys drinking? Let me know what's in your cup. I'm having my chai rooibos herbal tea as per usual. Hello, Flo. How are you? I'll text you back, by the way, Flo, as soon as this is over. I'm trying to remember if we have anybody new this time around. I don't think we do. I think everybody has done club before. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think I need to go into major detail on as far as like how I do things. I think you guys are pretty well familiar with that, so I'm just gonna hit it. And gosh, I hope I'm not incorrect about that, but I'm pretty sure everybody on here is or everybody that did the club this time around has done my clubs before, so you guys are familiar. Anybody on right now that thinks that they need a little bit of reminding of how I do this? I will tell you that I'll do the cards first, then we'll do the drawing, and the announcements and stuff like that, and then I will do the layout at the end. You're 4.5 hours away. Okay. I thought so. I was like, surely you're not home yet. I didn't think so. Your package took a side trip to Sedona. Oh, Jean, I'm so sorry. If I had control over the mail, these things would not happen. But for whatever reason, the mail system has lost its mind lately. And things just get, I don't know. I can't even begin to explain it. Like, it's so frustrating, especially for businesses like me. Because we send stuff on time and then people don't get it on time. So you can ask Katie. She's gotten a couple of packages. Like, she got one that was like a month late. It was ridiculous. And we're like trying to find out where it is, and they're doing investigations and all the things. And oh my gosh, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't understand it. I wish I had control over it. I'm sorry that I don't. Maybe I need to start praying over all of my shipping. Please get there on time. Oh, goodness. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Because I did once have somebody that received their box completely empty. So it was like it had been cut open or busted open or whatever, and there was nothing in it, and they still delivered the box. Like, it was obvious there was nothing in the box because it was open. And I'm like, why would you even deliver the box if there's nothing in it? And the guy like threw it on her porch too. And I'm like, what is going on with the mail system that they're doing this kind of stuff? I know it's not my fault. It just makes me feel bad, you know? Oh, that's good, Katie. That's great. You tell them, please don't deliver while I'm on my trip, and they deliver it anyway. So we always have someone that watches the house, whether it's a neighbor or, like, for us, we have somebody that stays here with our pets. We have them bring the mail in so that we don't have that kind of pile up, and we never have to mess with the mail, like calling the mail carrier or any of that. But yeah, the problem is if they have a substitute, then they'll deliver it anyway because they're not paying attention, you know? So anyway, all right, let's get started, guys. Enough griping, right? Sorry about that. I try not to gripe. All right, let's go. All right, so and what, you know, that's kind of funny that we're talking about that because this is such a amazing stamp set. So for those of you that are not super familiar with Kintsugi, I'm assuming that most of you are who did this, but I find this art form to be just absolutely amazing. So in the catalog, it talks about it a little bit. I have been an admirer of Kintsugi for years and years and years. And so when this came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're doing that. So here on page 58 and 59 are the products for this suite. But on The next page on the back here on page 60, it actually describes the traditional Japanese technique of kintsugi, and it is repairing broken pottery with a gold lacquer that basically makes the original project even more beautiful. And so it's like you're celebrating the flaw. And so there is correlation to our own scars and the stuff that we go through in our lives, that it's those scars do not make us less beautiful. They make us more beautiful, especially when we embrace them and learn to deal with whatever it is that hurt us, right? So I find kintsugi to be an absolutely beautiful art form in more ways than one. And so I'm just very inspired by it. And so I really, really love this suite of products. Besides the fact that it's beautiful, it's just a really inspiring suite. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Okay, so moving right along. Oh, that's good. That's good, Katie. All right, so I'm going to move this stuff out of the way for a moment, and let's talk about everything. So we're going to be using the Inspiring Imperfections stamp set, of course. If you got the die set, of course you have that available to you as well. You don't need the die set to complete the cards, but just want to make sure that you know that that is available if you didn't get it. Also, for the stamp set, one of the things that you can do with this stamp set that we're not doing, and the only reason we're not doing it is because I don't usually do any kind of, what am I trying to say, high technique with my classes or my clubs, because I don't know what products you have at home. And so, for instance, with this particular suite, this little crack thing is really cool to use with embossing powder and your heat gun, but not everybody has that. So I did not do that in this particular card set. However, if you want to add that because you have gold embossing powder and you have a heat gun, it will be super beautiful. I plan to do it myself with my own cards. I just didn't do it with this class. So just be aware of that. It is a technique that is gorgeous, and I do plan to do a video about it at some point. It's just not part of this particular class because I don't have control over what you guys have at home. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I try to limit the tools that you're required to have. Okay, so really beautiful for doing powder embossing is what I'm trying to say. So if you guys are into that, which I love embossing powders, this is gorgeous with that. This set is great for it. Hey, Renee. How does the light get in if you've never been broken? Who's that by? I haven't heard that. I would love to hear that song. I'm super curious about it. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so for these cards, the stamps that I'm using, like I said, if you want to do these at any point in this process and add to the card, you certainly can. But we're going to be using the two the vase and the bowl is what I'm calling this. Vase and bowl, that's what I'm going to call it. So we're going to use these two pieces, and we're also going to use, well, you can use any sentiment you want, but I ended up using the Thanks, the Inspire, and this one, I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it. So obviously, There's Beauty in Your History is a gorgeous sentiment. You can certainly use that if you prefer. On a couple of these, it will fit. Use what works for you, okay? And then the I'm Here For You would be great for the inside of this card, for instance. Do you have to use it? No. So just kind of throwing some ideas out there. Joe Nestor. Yeah, definitely text it to me. I'm super curious about that, Renee. I'd love to hear that. Okay, so I've already got all my stamps on blocks that I'm going to be using. Also, we're going to be using the following inks. We've got Basic Beige, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, and Petal Pink. So make sure you have those handy. Just a note, you guys are missing this from your club. It is part of the club. It will be coming to you. It was back ordered when I sent the club out. It is finally available again, and I've got it coming in. But I will be sending these either in your next shipment, or I'll just put them in an envelope and send them to you, okay? But the point is, these are coming. I'm sorry they weren't available at the time. They've been on back order for a while, and they're finally now available. So I've ordered them, and they're on their way. All right, so those will be getting to you soon. So that's the other housekeeping thing. Okay, so in your pack, what you did get is your pack of kits. If you're not familiar with this, I recommend opening this up upside down or right side up like this, just so that you don't lose any of the stuff and it goes everywhere. Everything is in order, so it should make it easy for you to go through the process with me. Or of course you can watch the video first and then watch it on replay and hit pause whenever you need to. So in here is the instructions. These of course were also emailed to you. So you can always print them out again. Make sure you save those emails. I just would recommend to all of you guys, keep a folder for my important emails where I send you stuff like this, or I send you links, because you're going to need to always keep those for reference. So anyway, this first page tells you all the items I use to create the kits. So all the dies, all the things, right, including the ink colors and everything. So that is all here, and tools that you may want to use to put the cards together. These don't really ever change. There doesn't mean I used everything that's over here. I just keep this list here for you guys in case you ever want to reference it and find something quickly like that. It does include the $20 in product that you got, which is usually more than $20. So you are getting the Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper and the flower accents. Like I said, those will be coming. And then and you're getting half a pack of the flower accents, by the way, because the Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper is more expensive because of the gold foiling. So you do get half of the embellishments. And then you also got a free gift from me if you are a club subscriber. So if you're subscribed to my club, that means you want it every month. Does that mean you have to get it every month? No, you can pause or cancel at any time. But if you're subscribed, you get free gifts from me. And this month, let me tell you something, you guys, this was hard for me. I was like, what do I give you guys as a free gift? And I really struggled with different ideas. But I ended up going with this. I love the gold in this collection and the hearts, and I felt like it really fit very well with this. So I did send you 6 of these gold heart paper clips. They're super cute for you guys to use. You can use them on cards, you can use them just for paperwork at home, whatever you want to use them for, but they're super cute. So I just sent you a pack of those. So hopefully you guys enjoy those cute little paper clips. I love them. I think they're adorable. Okay, so all that's in there. And then you have the 2 pages of the recipes, what I call the recipes for each of the cards. And so those are there. We'll be using those. It does tell you everything that's in the kit, plus the items that you're going to need to cut yourself or that came from your pack. So we'll be going through that. And when I say or came from your pack, this is one of those things. So in here, I cut 3 flowers from each of your Designer Series papers. Which is why when you look at your Designer Series paper, you'll notice that there's these little pieces cut out. That's because I die cut these flowers out for you already. If you aren't doing the layout, you're going to have 1 extra cut out. Big deal, you can use it on another card. Otherwise, this one of these is going to get saved for the layouts. So I'm just going to set that aside. So we have 2 of those, and then we have a couple of dies that we're going to be using to stamp on as well. Okay, so I'm just going to set those there. There's not a lot, so you don't have to worry too much about like putting it in a tray or anything like that. Okay, and then we of course have our 4 cards, which everything's already in here except for the Designer Series paper that we're going to cut. So let's open this up. So for the first card, we're going to cut from our paper, which is the other thing that you got a full pack of the paper. If you get a layout, your paper will come to you whole. If not, I do cut it in half, and that's just because I don't want to charge you $10 shipping just to send this full. So it's kind of ridiculous unless you're getting a layout. So If you ever want me to, just let me know and I'll be happy to do that for you. You'll just have to pay the extra shipping. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this sheet here that you can see I cut the 3 flowers out, and this is the vase I used. If you'd prefer to use this one for the first card, you certainly can. I just wanted to use, I liked this one better, but that's just me. You could also use the cracked one down here. Keep in mind that this paper is the cracked paper, so having something a little bit different like the leaves or the flowers is probably preferential, but you guys can do either way. So I'm going to cut out this one right here. And you might be wondering, why didn't I just die cut these out for you too? Well, I could have, but here's the thing. It does take a lot of extra time to die cut stuff out for you guys from the designer series paper. And the flowers was necessary because they're more complicated. This little vase is super simple. Now, if you have the and I'm going to cut inside the blue line so that there is no white, but you guys can do it however you want. If you have the dies, you can of course cut this out with your die by all means, but it's a really simple fussy cut. So I just thought, you know, the vases are really easy to fussy cut. The flower, not so much. That's a little bit more difficult. So I went ahead and did those for you. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out like so. We have that ready to go. And then we're going to grab the next sheet of paper in here that's the pink, has the gold cracked foil on the back with the blue. We're going to cut a piece of that. So, sorry, hold on one second. Let me look at something. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to cut this. We're going to cut this at 1/2 inch, or you can cut it at 4. If you want to cut it at 4, that'll give you a strip that you can make like card fronts with, and then you could cut a 1/2 inch off of that. And that's probably preferential, or you can just cut a 1/2 inch and then just cut a piece that's 4 inch, and then you'll just have like a little strip. So it's up to you. So I'm going to do the 4. I prefer this way. Just because I feel like I make better use of it, but it's kind of up to you guys which way you want to do it. And then I'm going to cut this at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to get this little cracked piece right here. That's all we need for this. All right. And then we have our circle. We're going to need one of the flowers for this card. Oops, sorry. So we need those pieces, and we're going to need this circle. We're going to stamp on the circle. We're also going to stamp on the envelope. So I'm going to pull everything out of this first card base envelope like this. We'll put these pieces here with that. I'm going to set that aside. So we're going to stamp on the envelope, and we're going to stamp on the sentiment piece. So for the envelope, we're going to be using the vase stamp, and for the sentiment, we're using the thanks for helping me through this difficult time. So I'll get to that one in a minute. All right, so I'm going to start with the Misty Moonlight for the vase. Sorry, I've got stuff everywhere right now. Let me move this over. Okay. Hello, everyone that's jumped on. Okay, so we're just going to grab our vase and our Misty Moonlight, and we're going to ink this up. And I'm just going to pop this on here, just like that. It's so pretty. I love the Misty Moonlight and the white, this vase look. I don't know what it is, but the blue and white china. Do you guys like that stuff? I'm not even a froofy kind of girl. I'm very tomboyish, but I do love the blue china. I think it's really pretty. So these vases like this that are just like blue and white are so gorgeous. I have a really huge blue vase that's like on my my fireplace that's like probably oh, I don't even know, 3 feet tall. It's so pretty. I love it. But it's blue. It's not, doesn't have flowers or anything on it. Anyway, okay. And then I'm going to grab the Lost Lagoon ink, and we're going to stamp the thanks or whatever sentiment you want for this. If you want a different one, use a different one. I like this one a lot, so we're going to do thanks. And I'm looking, whenever I have a mixed stamp like this that has straight text and it has cursive text on it, I always look at the straight text when I'm stamping. I don't pay attention to the rest of it because I know that that's going to be wonky if I do. So I always look at the straight text. Just a little tip. Hope that helps. Okay. So that's that one. Let's put that away so I don't get that on anything. All right. Super simple. Here we go. Let's put this one together. So we're not going to be doing any inking on that particular envelope. However, you can if you want to. We'll be talking about that here with one of our envelopes, and you can of course always adjust to meet your own needs and what you like. So feel free to change that up. All right, so we've got a white card base here. And then I have a full 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of petal pink that's been run through the joined together folder, which is the coordinating folder to this suite. I love this folder because it has these different, types of embossing in the different areas. There is a technique I want to point out to you guys that's a little complicated, but if you are willing to do it, what did I do with my catalog? Oh, there it is. If you're willing to do it and take the time to do it, it's super cool. So you can see here they took the gold foil and they also ran that through the embossing folder, and then they literally fussy cut out the veins that are going between here and then laid that on top. So it does require that you run this piece through and a piece of gold foil through and then fussy cut. So it's a little extra effort. But if you want to make a beautiful card for somebody, super cool technique. Okay, so we're going to add this. I'm going to run this adhesive all the way around because it has been run through an embossing folder. We want to make sure it lays flat. It doesn't matter which side you do up. It's up to you. Let's see, what did I do last time? Oh, it's the same. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? So, it doesn't matter, whichever way you want to put it on is fine. Okay, then we're going to take, this is the brushed silver and gold specialty paper that I used for this. I love this. I don't know why. I like running this through an embossing machine better than I do the regular foil, because the regular foil gets indented so easily, and this doesn't because it already has texture, and I love that. So I tend to use these textured ones more. But we're going to just add this layer like this on top of the gold foil. If you wanted to die cut something out of the center of this before you use it, you could of course do that. Nobody will ever know because you're going to put white on top of it. And then we have this little strip. So this little strip's going to go here, and then this is going to go here. One of the things I tried to do with these designs is I tried to give homage to Japanese art. So Japanese art is different from other styles of art. And so not all of these cards are that way, but in particular, this one and the third one in particular, I tried to give some homage to the style as well. So if you kind of like that style, then you'll kind of see those little tiny references. They're not huge, but it's a little something. So I'm just going to add this piece on. You'll notice I haven't added this yet. I'm just using it as a frame of reference for the moment. And I'm just going to pop this on so that it'll be where it's going to be in relation to this piece. So I'm just going to pop that on. And then I'm going to take this piece, whoops, it got caught. And we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive to it. I probably should have my mat down because I'm going to end up getting adhesive where I don't want it if I don't. So I'm just going to pop this kind of like right under the edge of that, barely. I'm not trying to slide it up under, just a little bit, or you could even just put it right on the edge. And so we'll just add that piece there. Super easy, right? We're going to flip this over. Oh, before we do that, sorry, I almost forgot a step. I'm going to grab, hopefully you guys have some kind of X-Acto knife. If not, you can use your scissors for this. Just be careful. I prefer using an X-Acto knife for this. And of course, if you have our crafter's tip for the pick your tool, that's perfect. So I know you guys don't see me use this a ton on screen because I know not everybody has it, so I just wanted to point it out. You might do it for us, Technique Tuesday. What did I point out I was going to do for you? I'm sorry. What you might do for us? Yeah, I know, right? The blue and white, it's really nice. Blue is in my dishes. I have green and blue in my kitchen, so yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of show you here. Right above this gold lip on the front lip of the thing, okay, is where I'm going. So I'm just going to cut a little slit right above that gold lip, okay? So you can see here, see that? Right there. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. That's where the slit is. Because I want to put my flower in the vase, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to put my flower in the vase, just like this. And then we're going to flip it over wherever you want the flower to be. Gold foiling on the edge. Gold foiling on the edge. I talked about showing gold foiling. Are you talking about the cutting this out? Oh, I don't remember. What did I say? You have to remind me. Be more specific. I don't know what you're talking. Okay, I'm going to let you guys know right now. If I'm dingy today, it's because I got 4 hours of sleep and I have not been getting good sleep like at all lately. So I've barely been sleeping. So I'm getting kind of punch drunk at this point. I'm really not making any sense anymore. So if I say silly things, I'm going to apologize right now for it because, hey Kathleen, because I really don't remember. Okay, so please help me out, Jeffrey, because I don't remember. Gold foiling on the edge. Are you talking about the embossing powders? Maybe? I bet that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure though. I probably did say something at some point. I will tell you, I do plan to do Kintsugi for you guys. I just haven't had time to fit it in because I've had a bunch of stuff going on here. So let me show you. Hold on. I'm going to grab it. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. So I have, I bought a Kintsugi set. I'll show you here real quick. Whoops. Let's see which side's the top. I can't see what I'm doing here. Yeah, so I bought a Kintsugi set, and this has all the stuff in it to actually do Kintsugi on. So you can see here's the stuff that it's like a powder that you mix and you create. Oh, I didn't know that. Wait a second. What is this? Hold on. I didn't know it has little bowls in it. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay. So I didn't know those were in there. Anyhow, so basically what you do is you mix up the gold, and then you put it in, you glue pieces back of your pottery. So I bought this set to do that with, which I plan to do for you guys. And I just haven't had time to do it. And because I do have blue in my living room, or rather my family room, and I have blue in my kitchens, because those are my two like kind of open family spaces, and they both have blue in them. I bought this set of vases that look like this, and they're different sizes, and I was going to break this one on purpose so that I can repair it for you guys, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm super nervous about breaking it and messing, you know, like not being able to make it look good. But I'm gonna do it because I have always loved this form of art and I want to do it so bad. So we are gonna do it at some point. And then that'll look really beautiful in my living room. Okay. So I don't know if that's, if you guys, are you guys interested in seeing me do the Kintsugi? I would like to do it for you if you're interested in it. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over and add dimensionals to this too. Whoops, I just pulled off that whole thing. Did not mean to do that. We'll use that on something else. Okay. So we're just gonna, you do want to see it? All right, and then you see where this kind of, I'm trying to be very like feng shui here with my card. So where it kind of curves, I'm gonna put the circle. Like that, okay? And then, like I said, you don't have these yet. They'll be coming. I'm so sorry. Back orders. So I'm gonna take my, back a few steps ago, you were mentioning to make the card look more outstanding, cutting the embossed card and applying foil on the edges. Oh, so what it is cutting the, sorry, let me, hopefully this will explain what I'm saying. Here on page 60, it shows it. So you cut, so like for instance, you do a background like this, and then you cut a piece of the gold foil that's the same size, and you run that through as well. You're gonna wanna make sure that it's in the exact same place on your embossing folder so that you get the whole piece, the whole, what am I trying to say? All of the vein that you want, and then you fussy cut out the vein. Is that what you're talking about, Jeffrey? And then you apply that veining that you've cut out on top of this where the veins are. So it's really cool. It's just, it takes a little extra to do it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure I understand you. Please help me understand so that I don't want to forget to do something I've said I'm gonna, because I'm sure I've done that before. So I'm going to do a large and a small, and then either a large and or a small up here, whichever way you want to go with that. We'll do a large one because this one was a small. All right. And then our envelope is just the vase, of course. And so there you have the first card. If I forget to do things, y'all just have to remind me because I have no memory. So just be like, Jeri, you forgot to do this thing you said you were going to do. And I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll try to get it done. Okay, number 2 is this one. I do run out of time too, so I just, you know, there's only so many hours in a day kind of thing. All right, so this one, we're going to open that up. We are going to be stamping on our envelope. So we'll be doing that in just a second. And this is the envelope. So what I did, we're basically showcasing one of these. And so you can see here, I went ahead and did the same kind of look, which if you have the dies, you can always cut out another piece of foil and put that on here too. I wouldn't recommend that. However, if you do have embossing powder, you could emboss this with gold. That would be super cool. If you're going to put it through the mail, I don't think putting on this little die is a great idea. It'll probably get caught in the machines. I'm not positive that it will, but it's just, I wouldn't do it. But embossing it would probably be fine. So there's your little piece that I've already cut for you. We're going to be stamping on our sentiment as well, and we're going to be stamping on this long white piece right here. All right, so I'm going to set the rest of this to the side for the moment. Then in your instructions, it tells you we're going to cut a piece, we're going to cut 2 pieces actually from our cloud cover. It looks like you're putting a whole big piece back here, but there's no need to use up all of your paper. So you can simply cut 2 pieces that are 1/2 inch wide by 5.5 inches. And that is from, you can choose to use this one if you want. I didn't because I wanted to have, I just smacked my camera with the, I wanted to have all of these available to me to cut out. So I prefer to use the other blue one, which is this one right here. The back side is the multi-sectional part, but I like this look a little bit better with the floral design on these vases, however you want to say that. So we're going to use this piece for this. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to turn it so that you have your like little floral pieces, you want it facing to the left. So I'm going to turn it so it's facing to the left, and I'm going to cut a piece that is 1/2 inch wide. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to rotate this, and we're going to cut this. We need 2 pieces of this at 5 1/2. So I'm going to do 5 1/2, and then one more at 5 1/2, which is going to leave you like 1 inch. If you want to keep that and use it somewhere, by all means you can. I'm just going to recycle it because it's teeny tiny. All right, so we have 2 pieces that are 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. That's way less paper than if you had that on the whole back of your card. You don't need to do that. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh, so sorry. Okay. All right, so we have those 2 pieces. All right, then we're going to do our stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and do my sentiment first and get that out of the way. We're going to use Misty Moonlight for this card. Obviously, I really leaned into the blue and white with these cards. You can see that from my designs because I like it better. I know that there's Old Olive in this stuff too, and the Lost Lagoon, but I liked the Misty Moonlight and the Petal Pink better. So that's kind of the way I went. It was just me. You guys can change it up if you don't like it. All right, so I'm going to do the I Know You'll Get Through This and Be Stronger For It. I think that is a really, really beautiful sentiment that a lot of us need, right? I need it right now. I'm going through some stuff. So those of you that have been praying for me, I appreciate that because, yeah, I'm going through some stuff. Okay, so thank you very much for those prayers. All right, so we're going to be cutting this in a minute, but I'm just going to set that there. Okay, so then we're going to stamp on our envelope. We're going to add the vase to this. Just like we did before. The difference is I am going to be doing some blending on this. So I am going to make sure to grab my piece of cardstock that I keep on my desk. Hopefully you guys know about this. To stick in here so that when I color this, it doesn't bleed through. Then we're going to stamp one of these. If you want to go ahead and stamp the other one at the same time, you're more than welcome to do that. In fact, I'm just going to do that. And I'm actually going to do this cup too while I've got all these out here. Why not? I'm going to do my cup first because I know that's probably weird. I don't normally do that, but but we've got our ink out right now, so why not? I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these. That way I don't have to clean them off a million times, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp my cup. And then I'll set that aside. And then we can ink up these 2. I really should have this flipped over because I'm doing the wrong side. Shouldn't be on my cutting side. I want to be on my stamping side. I always use one side of my Stampin' Pierce mat for stamping and the other side for my cutting and piercing. I know not everybody uses this to cut on, but I don't use it. Don't do that very often. I usually use my self-healing mat for cutting. I usually just use it for piercing, but it's handy and sometimes whatever, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so I can set that aside for now. All right, so we've got this piece here. We're going to be coloring this piece as well, and I did not mean to clean this off because we're not done. So we're also going to grab this piece. Now, for this, I'm going to use these two vases as a frame of reference that I've already stamped. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper. It doesn't matter what you're using, whether it's old junk mail or like me, I'm using a piece of computer paper. Okay. It's a little hard to see because it is white. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can see it well enough. But I'm going to kind of space these out so they're equal distant on my piece of paper. I already know that they're going to go off the side. When I did this one, I didn't do that. And so you can see here, this one went off the side, but this one didn't. And I would prefer them to be more centered. But if you don't mind that, you can just start wherever, it doesn't matter. So, but if you want them to be more centered, then put these two pieces in here like this, and it'll give you a frame of reference, and then you can take your stamp and space it out the same. So I'm going to add one there. Whoops. And I am going to try to get them on the same level, like I'm trying to keep them up and down the same. Like that. I'll remove that one. This one's a little bit sideways, so be careful. I'm doing the best I can. It may not be perfect, but you'll get close, right? Pop that one on there. And then I am going to go ahead and stamp one here, even though I'm going to be putting something over it. I just kind of like that, so you don't have to do this stamp if you don't want to. Okay. Now I can clean this off. Okay. And get rid of that. All right, so we are going to be, like I said, we're going to be coloring both of these. I'm going to set this aside for now. And we're going to color these two. And all we need for this is our cloud cover blends. So your dark and light cloud cover blends are perfect for this. If you want to bring in Misty Moonlight, you can. I did play around with that and I found like it was too dark. It made it where I couldn't really see the, I mean, you can just use the light one if you want to, but even then it was a little too dark. So it's a preference thing. If you would prefer to use it, by all means do. So this is what I did instead. So let me show you. So I'm going to take the dark one and I'm going to do the flower parts. So right here there's a flower. And right here there's a flower. Be careful you don't get this leaf that's right next to it. I know that's confusing. Because it looks like it's part of the flower. So I'm just going to do the two flowers with the dark. Then I'm going to do the light, and the light I'm going to use for all the leaves. So every leaf that you basically see on here, I'm going to come through and do, there's fat leaves, there's thin leaves, whatever size they are. I'm just going to do all these little leaves with, not the spirals, just the leaves with the light. Okay, so I do all of the leaves. Then I'm going to go back to the dark and I'm going to color the flowers again. Why? Because it makes it just a little bit darker, so the contrast between the leaf and the flower is a little bit stronger. Okay, that's it. That's all we're doing. And it really makes a beautiful vase. Now, could you do petal pink in here? Whatever. Yes, absolutely. You guys do you. If you want to do something different, do it. It's fine. You won't offend me by any means. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to do the dark on the flower. But you'll notice that this card in particular, there is no pink or any other color in here. It's just the blues. But if you do one that has a mix of colors, by all means, adding other colors in here could be really cool. I just really love the look of the blue and white pottery, so I leaned into that. It's all about preference. There's something very elegant to me about the blue and white pottery. I don't know what it is. I've just always liked it. Oh, bye, Katie. She's traveling, for those of you that don't know, so she can't be on the whole time. They're on the road. They're headed home from their trip to see the what am I saying? Mount Rushmore. Okay, so there we go. We've got that piece done. All right. So now that we've done that, we're gonna come over here, grab our stuff from our kit. We're gonna fold our card base. You're having a meeting there tonight, so you're serving finger food, not really considered cooking. What kind of meeting? Like a Bible study or something like that, or? So I'm hoping, Jeffrey, that I answered your question correctly. And if you're saying who's cooking tonight, well, in my house, it's almost always my husband. I mean, I make a few things that are mostly like things you prep and just pop in the oven because I hate standing over a stove. I'm actually a really good cook. I just don't enjoy it. So I don't do it. My husband likes doing it, so he does it. And his back is not like mine, so he can actually stand there and work on things that I can't do. But I like to bake things, like in the sense of, I don't mean like, well, I do like to bake, but like I make lasagna, for instance, really good lasagna. But I haven't made that in ages because we don't eat pasta very often. It's like a treat anymore, because we do the carnivore stuff. So, we try, I just don't feel good when I do that. I feel so much better when I eat right that it's just not worth it to me at all. So, yeah. And I've lost 56 pounds, as a side benefit to doing this as well, which is really nice. Okay. So we're going to add this piece, and I am going to make sure that both of my pieces are going in the same direction at the very top of the card and then at the very bottom of the card. And that's all we need, because I need to do it on here because I'm going to get tape on my glass mat if I don't. It happens. It's inevitable. That's all we need because the other piece is going to cover the rest of it up. So you don't need to use a huge piece of designer series paper. So I'm just going to put that at the bottom edge. So we have the two edges done. And then we're going to take these pieces and we're going to layer those up. Community social planners meeting. Oh, gotcha. That kind of thing. All right. I miss doing in-person stuff with you guys. Well, not necessarily all of you guys, but those of you that live nearby me, we used to get together and do like paper pumpkin night, and I miss doing that so much. But the gal that we used her church, she passed away, and so, and my church doesn't have the facilities for that, so one of these days maybe somebody will have something that we can use to do that again. But we don't have the facilities for that. So, okay. So we're going to add that on right there, just like that. Super pretty all by itself. Like you don't even need this extra layer, but it's so pretty. So we're going to do it. Okay. I know I'm crazy. All right. So then we're going to take this piece and we're going to take our little gold piece. Now you can put this on here however you want. You'll notice it's bigger than it needs to be, but I do want to make sure that it at least goes to the edges of the pottery, on all the edges. So wherever you decide to do it, whether you do it this direction or that direction, it doesn't matter. So I did this one like this. You can see like that, right? So I'm going to do it the other way for this one, just to show you, like, you can do it this way if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to do it this way to show you the opposite look, but you guys can do it either way. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to add some glue. I'm just going to add little dots all the way. You do want to make sure your ends have glue on them, in particular near the end, because some of these are going to go off the edge. So, and you'll notice, look, I got glue on my mat. That's the cool thing about using these mats, is I can just clean that right off. I just used some alcohol and a paper towel, you guys. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to make sure that wherever I put this, it is going all the way to the edge of my pottery. Okay. In fact, you can just do that. That's what I do most of the time. But I do clean it from time to time with actual alcohol just to make sure it's completely clean. Okay, so we've got all those pieces like that, and then I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to, make sure that sticks. I'm just going to trim the extras off. Little bits that hang over the edge. Just cutting those little tiny pieces off. And yes, you're going to get glue on your scissors doing that. Just clean your scissors off with some alcohol as well. If I can get that off of there. Come here. It's being stubborn. Come here. Oh my gosh. It did not want to let go. So I'm just going to try to now get these off my fingers. They're stuck because of the glue. Come off. Ugh. That's why I hate glue. I hate getting glue on anything, so I try not to use wet glue. Some people love wet glue. I'm just not one of those people. Okay. When I was in high school, I was at church camp, and my counselor, it was actually our youth pastor, she was like, we were talking about something, we were setting up for a project for the younger kids, and we were setting out glue, and she was like, do you remember, you know, putting like Elmer's glue on your hand when you were a kid and then like peeling it off? And I was like, no, I never did that. It's messy and gross. And she was like, what? And she was like, come here right now. And she made me do it. She was like, you have to do it. It's fun. It was so hilarious. I'll never forget that. I was like, you're making me do that? You get in trouble for that kind of stuff. She was like, I was a rule follower. I didn't do the things that I wasn't supposed to do, you know? She made me do it. She's like, but it's so much fun, you have to try it. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so we've got dimensionals on the back of this piece, and now we're just going to pop it right here on top of this second stamped image, just like that. Then for this piece, we're going to add this to our blue piece here, and I just try to get it centered. When adults make you do things that you normally get in trouble for. So I've been cooking since I could reach this stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I used to do I did some catering stuff, so I've done some big cooking for things. Last full-time job as a demo specialist at Whole Foods. Oh wow. Okay, so then we're gonna just cut into this piece the same distance in, basically, as you are away from here. So just use your snips to cut that. And whoops. Then we're gonna add dimensionals to the back of this too, but we're going to put regular adhesive right here. So I'm gonna add just some regular adhesive right there, and then I will add dimensionals to the rest of this. So I'm gonna actually use some of this up again because I need to. Just like that. you can just use your regular dimensionals, or you can use the bones like I'm doing. Okay. And then I'm basically going to center it on this one. So I'm going to do it like, almost like I'm centering it on this one, but it's on top of this one. Does that make sense? I hope. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to take our, yeah, I inherited my grandmother's ability to cook. Like, I'm just very good at it. I was just always good at it. But I don't really enjoy it that much. I mean, like, it's okay. I don't mind it, but it's not like my love or anything like that. So I wish it was, but it's just not. All right, so I'm going to add 3 of the gold. If you guys have these, of course you can use them. You can use the ones you already have, but you will be getting a half pack of the flower accents. So I'm just using some little extras that I had left over. Okay, there we go. So that is that card. So cute, right? I love this. And this was actually inspired by my upline Patty. Oh, and here's the difference. So you can see here I did the little piece going in a different direction, and it still looks super cool. Let me show you up close. Either way looks really cool. Yeah, my upline Patty, she this card I was inspired by something she had done. So I liked all of the vases lined up like that together. All right. That was number 2. Number 3 is the super fun one. Are we ready? This is the fun fold. Y'all know I love my fun folds. So this has some creative cuttings. You're going to want to follow along. If you want to watch first and then do after, this is one of those cards you might want to do that with, just because the cutting is a little bit weird. So anyway, y'all decide how you want to do that. Okay, so we're going to grab the, let me grab the card. So here's the card. This has got a belly band that we're going to take off, and then you've got your flap. It's kind of a gatefold card, but it's more like a trifold card with a belly band. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So I'm just gonna leave this kind of here like this, so I can show you everything here. All right, so we're going to be cutting the piece that looks like this, and the piece that is the flowers. Okay, so the gold with flowers and the blue, and here's the other side of those two. So you've got the kind of like, I don't want to call that bamboo, but it's like some kind of branches, and then the petal pink kind of floral design. Okay, but this is the side we're using for this card. Unless you don't want it to be all blue, you could of course use whatever you want. That's fine. All right, so we're going to use these two. These 2 pieces we need to cut at 3 5/8 by 5. So I'm going to do, because I normally, hold on. Yeah. Because I normally cut my paper at 5 1/4, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. But you guys can do it whichever way you want. Okay. And then I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to cut this at 3 5/8. This is going to create a little bit of cast off, but I just prefer to cut my paper in that fashion. And then I'm going to cut this at 5. So yes, I'm going to lose 1/4 of an inch on this one little piece, but I just don't want to cut my whole slab at 5, because I more often use 5 1/4 than I do 5. And so this is going to give me the size that I need. Okay. So these 2 pieces we're going to be cutting in a fun way. Okay. So, these 2 pieces we're going to cut at, oh gosh, did I write that down? I think I did. Pretty sure I did. Hold on. Let me make sure I did. So you should have, yeah, 5. Okay. And then should be 1 1/8. 1 3/8. Sorry, hold on. 1 3/8. When you have those brain moments. Okay, 1 3/8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my card. If you have a T ruler, I find that this is easier, but you can use a regular ruler too. So what I'm going to do is this piece here is going this direction. So I'm going to mark from the side with a pencil. I'm going to mark 1 3/8. Sorry, don't let it move from the side. And then on this side, same thing. Trying to make sure it's straight. Oops, let's do it like this. Oops, stay here. Do you ever have moments where you're like frustrated with paper? 1 3/8. Okay, so I have my 2 little marks, 1 3/8. And then I'm going to cut. I'm going to put that little mark in my trough, and I'm going to put this little corner in the trough. Just like that. Make sure they're both lined up. Take your cutting blade up to the part that's going to hit the flat surface, not the corner. That keeps you from bumbling that up. You can use this on something if you want to. We're going to do the same thing this way, 1 3/8. Or sorry, 1 3/8. But this time I've got my blade on this side because this is my flat edge. Okay, and that gives us this piece right here, okay? Same thing with this one. We're gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do the 1 3/8. Mark that. You ever realize, like, when you don't get enough sleep, your body doesn't work right either? Like, you just start doing goofy things. Yep, that's where I am. My brain isn't working, my body's not working. I'm just like, duh. Having a moment. Just having a moment. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing with this piece. We're gonna cut the, I just keep hoping I don't make a mistake because my brain is so tired. 1 3/8. And then 1 3/8 to this corner. Okay, so these are extra pieces that you can use wherever you wish. So we're going to set these 2 pieces aside. Of course, you want to erase any pencil marks that might still be on it so that they don't show up on your card. All right. Then we're going to take from our kit, this is our little kit, we're going to pull all this out. We are going to be stamping on this piece. And this is our insert, this is our wrap piece. We'll get to those in a minute. We're of course going to be stamping on our envelope. We'll get to those in a minute. So before we stamp though, this piece right here, this is our card base. And you can see here, you're going to fold this side in as well. One side's already been folded just to get it in the packet for you. But go ahead and fold this side too and burnish that so that they're both burnished really well. It really doesn't matter which way they both fold the same, okay? So now we're going to cut these at, these are cut, by the way, this is a 12-inch piece of, this is our, you can probably see it, this is our 2-tone cardstock with the white center. And so this is cut, it should have the score, yeah, 3 7/8, or 3, that says 3 7/8. I think it's 3 5/8. No, it is, it's 3 7/8. So 3 7/8 from the side on both sides, and that gives you the 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card, okay? So, this took me a while to get my measurements perfect, I tell you what. All right, so we're gonna do, whoops, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna do the same kind of thing here, but we're gonna do it with the edges of this. So I'm just going to do the same thing here, except instead of, instead of 1 3/8, wait, is that right? Or is it also 1 3/8? Y'all, I am too tired. I need some coffee or something. 1 1/2. And 1 1/2. Yeah, it's 1 1/2. Moments. We have moments. So I had to look at the original card. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having a moment where I can't think of what it is. I'm going to double check. Measure twice, cut once. Okay. So I'm going to measure at 1 1/2 on this edge and mark that. And then the same thing over here, 1 1/2. Always measure twice, cut once, because, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, it's too easy to make mistakes, especially if you're limited on product. You don't want to have to start over. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So 1 1/2. Flip it around, 1 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to cut both of these edges, and this gives us that kind of like, it looks like a sari that you've folded. Super cool. Okay, so we're going to cut from that mark. I know it's hard to see on camera, but that mark that we made that was 1 1/2 to this corner where the fold is. Okay, so that's where we're going. So from the 1 1/2 mark to the corner. So I want to put the little corner in this, and I want to put the 1 1/2 mark in this. And then I'm going to, again, bring my blade up to the flat edge. Okay, we're going to do the same thing this way. Oops. I am tired. I'm so worried I'm going to make a mistake. 4 hours of sleep is just not enough. I'm a zombie. Same thing on this side. I did it enough times, though, trying to figure out exactly what measurements I wanted to. I was like, surely I'll remember what I'm doing. And I do think I have. Unless I totally screwed it up, and then we'll start over. But hopefully you guys, my brain's not that far gone. Cross my fingers. Okay. And again, these are scraps that you can use wherever you want. So like you could use these scraps together on something and have some kind of like real fun with these different like triangle shapes and stuff on a card. So you've got all those extra pieces. Okay. Oops. All right. So there's your folded piece. We're going to take our 2 pieces that we cut. This one's going to go this way and this one this way. I've got the white one on top. If you want it the other way around, by all means. So I'm just going to pop this on here. And I'm going to pay attention a little bit more to these 3 sides than this one, because I didn't get it perfect, the measurement. I got as close as I could, you guys. It's rough to get those measurements. You should see me. I was over here doing like algebra, trying to figure out exactly what measurements I wanted to cut things at. I'm not even kidding. Like, I was seriously doing algebra trying to figure it out. So, same thing for the layout. I literally did algebra figuring out how I wanted to cut stuff. So you can see here, it is longer than this side. I don't care. Like, it's fine. If you want to trim that down, by all means, trim it down. Nobody's going to notice. If you do the outside the same, it'll all look fine. Okay. Then we're going to take our, what do you call it? The belly band. Now, you'll notice that I went ahead and scored one side for you. This is on purpose. So I didn't score 2 because you know, just depending on how it got cut and all that, it can be really hard to score a belly band perfectly. So what I always recommend is score one side and then take it and gently fold the other side over, like so. Then once you've done that, take it off and burnish. And then that should give you the right size for your belly band. Okay, and I like mine a little tight because I don't want it to just fall off, but I also don't want it so tight that it bends my card, right? All right, so, and in this case, some belly bands, you put something in the front that covers this seam up, but because we're not doing that, because we have this open look, we're gonna actually adhere in the back. So the way to do a belly band is you want to add, so this is the, let's just say the left side. I'm going to put it on the end there. So this is the top of it. And then I'm going to open this side up, and on the inside, I'm going to put adhesive on this end. So outside of this one, inside of this one, and then I fold them together. And no matter how much space you have there, as long as it's not less than the width of your adhesive, it will attach really nicely. And so you've got all that. And so then you can just slide this on back on here. Ta-da! And you've got your belly band. Okay, before we put the belly band on though, we're gonna open this back up. And I love, how many of you guys love this two-tone paper? Oh, I love it so much. It's so cool. All right. So we're gonna take this white piece that also came in this cards kit, and we're going to add this to the inside. You'll notice this is bigger than my normal size insert, and that's because I was trying to match the borders a little bit better, sorry I have hiccups, of my outside of my card. Okay, so if I'd made it shorter, it would have come in like here, and I wanted it to kind of have like a similar border all the way around. Okay, so there's our kind of like sorry look, whatever. All right. So now let's focus on our belly band. All right. So our belly band, we need to cut a couple of things. So the first one is we're going to cut a vase. If you have a die, you can cut your vase from any of the papers you want to. You'll notice that I cut it actually from, hold on, let me show you. And this is like one of these moments where you get to do optional things, like whatever floats your boat kind of thing. Where did I do it? This one. So I cut it from this paper, but I made sure to cut it from an area like this that only had blues in it. So I think mine actually was cut, I'm trying to see where it was. Somewhere in here, I think is where I cut mine from. However, you can simply cut out one of these for this as well. So I'm going to be cutting out one of the bowls. I'm going to cut out this bowl here. However, if you want to cut out a different bowl, if you want to do a vanilla vase, you guys, the sky's the limit. You do what you want to do. So I'm going to cut out this bowl, and then I'm going to cut out the I'm going to cut my vase from this piece, but you can cut it from the vase page. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut this one out. It's just so fast. I'm not going to bother with die cutting it, but if you have the dies, you can. So if you have the dies, you can cut from this piece, or you can also, if you don't have the dies, but you want to cut from this piece, I'm going to show you another option. You don't have to have the dies. Whoops. You can take this piece right here that we've already stamped for the next card, and you can find where you want it to be and outline it and then fussy cut it out. So that's an option as well. So whichever way you want to do it, you choose what works for you. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you this because I know a lot of you buy the dies when you buy the stamp set. Most of us buy the dies too. Not all of us, but the vast majority of us do. So I do want you to have a chance to play with your dies. And so I thought this would be a fun opportunity to play. So this is what I did. I found a spot that I liked with my die. I just played around until I decided where I wanted it. And I think I like that right there is where I did it. I'm gonna add some adhesive here. And I'm just gonna cut that out like that, okay? Yes, I'm gonna save whatever I don't end up using from this piece, and I can use it to cut something else out. So I'm just gonna pop this in here. Like I said, you can just fussy cut around the, what am I saying? Trace this if you don't have the die, and fussy cut that if you wanna do exactly what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's super simple to just do this. So that's what's so cool about this paper. You can use any of these designs to make a vase. You could have a vase out of this paper, for instance, or whatever paper you want to do. But this paper is so cool. With this, already has the gold, the Kintsugi veins in it. It's just awesome. Isn't it? Okay, I just had to do that with you guys. I thought it was super fun. So there we go. We've done it. We've done some die cutting together. We don't get to do that very often, so I figured I'd do it. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Then we're going to take another tool that I forgot to tell you to grab is your daubers. I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight dauber. If I can find it, there it is. And the Misty Moonlight ink. And I'm just going to add a little bit of an edge around this, because you don't have to, but I think it looks a little funny. It kind of adds just a little bit of shadow, or you could just do like the left and bottom side if you wanted to. It doesn't really stick on the gold, so beware of that. You're going to want to probably wipe that off with a tissue so you don't smudge everything. But I just went around it really gently. I'm making a very, very thin line. So you can see I'm staying almost parallel to my piece, but creating that little bit of border. It just adds a little bit of shade. If you want to add a little extra toward the bottom and the left side or something like that, you can, you know, do something like that. All right. And then, like I said, I do recommend making sure you don't have any that you're going to smudge with your, I seem to have done a pretty good job of not doing that, but make sure you don't have any that's on the foiling that's going to smudge. Okay, so now we're going to take our, what did I do with it? Ah, oh, it's over here. We're gonna do some stamping. So we're gonna take getting gusts up to 34 miles an hour as thunderstorm rolling in. Oh no, 96. Yeah, it's 96 here. Oh, it dropped 10 degrees almost. Wow. Okay, so we're going to stamp our vase on here again with our Misty Moonlight. Ta-da! So there's our vase. And then we're gonna take our sentiment piece, and I do want to try to make sure that I'm going about this straight, since this is a weird angle. You know, do the best you can. I'm gonna use the You Inspire Me. Pretty much, I think any of the sentiments will fit on this. If you want to do the There's Beauty in Our History, in Your History, or whatever. I mean, you do you. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do the You Inspire Me because I really like that one. And I'm just gonna add it over here to the right side. Again, I'm looking at my straight text to try to get this straight. Hopefully that's straight. If you're like me, it's probably not. That's okay, this is not Hallmark, this is homemade. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, even though I try really hard. Okay, so we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna add this on flat. All wind, no rain. Need rain for gardens and lawns. Yeah, I hear ya. I'm just going to center this on this belly band. Side to side, top to bottom. Then I'm going to add my vase over here. Notice that it's going to hang off up here and up here, so don't put your adhesive on the whole thing, just put it in the center. Pop that on there. And then our little bowl is going to go right here, and this one I'm going to add dimensionals to. And I'll pop that on right there. Oops, it's a little crooked. Nope. I tried to get it on straight, but did I? No. I upset it. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Y'all bear with me. I made a boo-boo. Usually if you mess up dimensionals, you have to reapply. Because they're pretty sticky. So I'll fix it. Let's try that again. I don't want it to be crooked. Okay. And we're going to add some of our embellishments here. Like so. Easy peasy. Sorry, I'm like leaving everything out on the side here. It's gonna make me crazy. Can't do that. All right, and then that just fits right over my card. Oh, I love this card. It's a great card. There we go. Beautiful, right? Oh, there's the one I did today. So this one I shaded a little bit on the left side. This one I didn't. So you can kind of see the difference. They both look great. So either one is fine. Hope you guys like this one. I really loved how this one turned out. So I think that's probably my favorite of all four of them. All right, the next one, our last card, is this one. And so we're going to do a fun little technique with this. So we already stamped these two. If you didn't, go ahead and stamp those. And then we're going to just do a little bit of blending on the bottom and left side. You can kind of do it with just your flicking if you want to, like this. And then just bring it in a little bit. I tried doing it with a blending brush and I like this look a little bit better. I feel like it's a little bit more controlled. So I just went from the bottom up the left side, and I don't need a lot of ink for this because I've already got some ink on here. And I feel like you get a little bit better look when you have a little less ink on here because you just want a shadow, right? And also you have a little bit more control with a dauber than you do with the blending brush. The blending brush sometimes goes a little too far in. I felt like it just did a little too much. So I kind of like this better, but you guys can do either one, a blending brush or a dauber. We're going to do the same thing with this little cup that we did with the vase earlier. We're just going to make a little slit. And it doesn't need to be very big because we're just going to put it kind of in the middle. So I'm just going to add a little slit right above that lip. We're going to pop our flower in there. like so. And I'm going to flip it over and add dimensionals to this piece. And I just try to attach that whenever I do that with one of the dimensionals. I'm going to use a lot on this one just because I'm trying to make sure everything gets supported. All right, so we've got our 2 pieces here. In our kit, we're going to open this up. We're going to stamp on our envelope, and then we're also going to stamp on this piece. You'll notice that mine looks a little bit different because I made some decisions when I made this one and then I changed my mind. This die is no longer available, and then I started thinking about it and was like, oh, but I like this better. But rather than remake my whole card, I just went with this. So so this is what we're using. So we're going to use this piece and we're going to stamp the You Inspire Me with the Misty Moonlight. And just to get it positioned, if you want to take your vase and your bowl and kind of set them here, that's a great way to just make sure you're putting it where you want it. And then I'm going to take the You Inspire Me and pop that up here. Again, looking at the straight text to make sure I get it where I want it and it's straight, not the italicized text. And then I'm going to grab I'm going to grab my, what do you call this? An envelope. I'm going to grab my envelope and I'm going to stamp this. And I do have a little tip to show you. So let's stamp this with our Misty Moonlight. And I meant to save it, but I didn't. So I'm actually going to show this to you like from the beginning because I completely forgot to save it and somehow I got rid of it. So when you cut out these pieces, you have a negative. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. So when I have this piece, actually I could, well, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. You're going to have this piece that you cut this piece out of one way or another, probably. No, let's not do that because you might not have done it that way. Sorry. So anyway, if you don't have it, you don't have to do this step. This is just something you can do, by the way. So don't feel like you have to do this step. But I'm going to show you in case you want to. So I'm just going to take a piece of white cardstock, actually. And I'm going to cut, let me set these aside so I don't hurt them. I'm just going to cut this out of here. And I am going to put it up in the top right hand side for this, but it doesn't really matter because you can always use like a masking tape and other paper to make it the way you want it. So now I can save this and I can always stamp on that later, but I'm going to save this in the future because I meant to save my old one to do this. So once you've made one, you won't need to do it again, is what I'm trying to tell you. So now that I have this piece, I can pop this on here and I'm going to put it right at the edge of my vase, Now, obviously it's going to leave a little bit of a white line. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. And I'm just going to hold that down with some washi tape. And then I can take my dauber and I can come in here and blend into, I'm always starting on the white though, and blend into this. You can use your blending brushes too, that works. Again, you have a little more control with the dauber. And you end up with that same look that you have on the actual card. So it's just an option. Again, you don't have to do it. It can just be the vase like we've done on all the other cards. Don't feel obligated to do this, okay? I just wanted to show you it as an option, is something you can do. So I just keep that kind of thing in the back of my, and here's the extra vase so I can use that later. in the back of my dies, and then I have it for whenever I want to do that again. Okay, so there you go. So there's your envelope. All right, little tip, little trick, whatever. Cards are looking most outstanding. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying your cards. The most that you have shown die cutting. Yeah, well, you know, because unfortunately, with the class and the club, I have to always take in consideration that not everybody has the dies, so that usually that kind of stuff is something I do with just my videos, not my class and my club, to show stuff like that. So, but I wanted to do a little something with you guys this time because it was a technique that I thought would be fun. So, because of the certain paper, you know, it's fun with this paper. Anytime you have an object like that can have any kind of design on it, and then you can use just whatever. I mean, you could use these vases with any pattern paper, guys. Like any pattern paper would be cute. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you. It doesn't have to even be this pattern paper. You can make a vase or a bowl with any of these. All right, so we're going to take this piece here. We're going to add that to the inside. That's our insert. And of course, if you want to stamp on this, you totally can. Like stamp the flower on it or whatever. We're going to add, oops, sorry, we got to cut. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to cut this piece. So this is the, where is it? Here it is. This one. No, it's not that one. Sorry, my bad. Not that one. This one. I grabbed the wrong one. So this is the gold and blue, and we cut this earlier at 5 1/4. Hopefully you did the same thing I did. We cut it at 5 1/4, so now we're just going to rotate it and cut it at 4. And that'll give us this piece to use on this card. So now we're going to take this card. So we got our 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And we're going to pop this on here. I know it's really hard to cover up the gorgeous gold foil, but you know, the back side of these are pretty too. I know it's hard though. Okay. And then these are done with the new textured, oh shoot, I'm having a moment. What's it called? Textured note dies. These are awesome. If you guys have not picked these up yet, I highly recommend it. These are amazing. I'm in love with these dies. They're gorgeous. So I'm just gonna layer this one on top of my golds. Again, if you want to die cut something out of the center of your gold before you do this, you can. So it doesn't go to waste. And then we're going to add that to the center of this. Yes, I could have put ribbon across here, but you know, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I tried it and I didn't like it. So I went without it. Okay. So then we're going to add our, I kind of get like, where do I want it? Feel to this. So I'm going to add my vase flat. And yes, this is one of those moments where you could add some of that that cracked piece work to this, but you don't have to. That's kind of what I want to show you with this, is that you can do both. It doesn't technically have to be Kintsugi. It could just be a beautiful vase. And that's what's great about this set, is it's very flexible. And then we add that one down there. We're gonna add some embellishments. I'm running out, so I gotta grab my thing over there. Let's see. We're gonna grab a large one here, and a small one, and then one more. Either large or small, it won't matter. Up here. Okay, just like that. Ta-da! So this is what yours is going to look like, which I actually like better than this original because I love this embossing border that this adds to this, especially this piece because it kind of looks like bamboo. And so it really adds something to this card. It just kicks it up a notch above and beyond this one. So yeah, I really love how that turned out. So there are that's your 4th card. Awesome. Okay. All right, so for those of you that are on live, you'll get this notification now. Otherwise, if you won, I will be texting all the winners. So if you're not on live, don't worry. You're still going to find out. Or if you're not watching the replay. Some of you do this without even watching my videos, which is fine. Not offended. And so we have 3 winners for this club. We had kind of a small club this month. And so I have 3 winners that won the club drawing. Don't worry, we're about to do the actual live comment drawing. So make sure you've commented if you haven't already so you can be in that drawing, whether you're watching live or the replay, because remember I do 2 drawings for each video. But this drawing is pre-done. So this is, I use random.org to do this drawing. And I will send you guys, basically you guys are going to be able to pick any embellishment that you want that is currently available. So any flat embellishment, let me clarify. Any flat embellishment, please don't ask me for this kind of thing unless I send you packages all the time. If I send you like boxes all the time, I don't mind sending you something like this. But if I only ever send you envelopes or I hardly ever send you anything, please only ask for flat stuff, because then I can just pop it in an envelope and send it to you and it doesn't cost me like $5. If I have to put it in a bubble wrap, and especially, then it costs me like $5 to send, which is ridiculous. So I don't want to do that. So please don't do that. But anyway, so for all of you who win, you guys are gonna be able to pick any flat embellishment you like. Unless I'm sending you boxes all the time, then you can pick whichever embellishment you want. All right, so the 3 winners that were randomly chosen by my random.org website are Audrey Wall, Bonnie Bays, and Nicole Herrick. Sorry for the hiccup. Nicole Herrick. So congratulations to the 3 of you. I'm not even sure if any of the 3 of you are on today, but congrats, and I will obviously text you as well so you guys can pick what you want, and I will get that to you. Okay. Also, I want to tell you guys really quickly before I do my other announcements. The snips are not available anymore, but I do have 2 brand new pairs that I had in my my stash that I thought, well, I'm you know, if you guys want them, I've never used them. They're brand new, and so they were just extras that I had. Probably one from my upline but didn't need, because I already have 2 pairs and I just hadn't gotten around to needing them yet. So if you guys want these, I do have these available. Just text me and let me know that you want a pair. First come, first serve. And I can't even think of how much they cost right now. Whatever they are in the catalog, that's what it'll be. And then I do have one more of the embellishment sampler packs that from the annual catalog. So it's got all of the embellishments from the annual catalog. If you're interested in this, it's $14. So there's 7 different embellishment packs. You got a 1/5 of each pack, and yes, it's evenly distributed, so you get everything. And so there's one of these, and this was 14, I believe. If for some reason that's wrong, just tell me, but I'm pretty sure it was 14. So I have one of these left. So if you guys want those, let me know. Also, you guys are getting to know this before everybody else, but I have having a little bit of financial difficulty, so I'm trying to get rid of a few things. I've got some extra kits that have not been opened that you guys can get from me that are no longer available. I've got the Blossom Wishes kit. I've got 2 of the Petal Notes kit. None of these require stamps, okay? These are just kits that you put together, so they're really easy for anyone. And I've also got the Your Day to Shine kits. I've got 2 of those. So these are non-stamping kits, super cute, easy to put together. They're just extra ones I have. And then this one is a stamping kit, and the stamp set is in here. It's never been used. It's brand new because this was my extra kit. I just didn't get around to doing it with you guys. And so I put it in the sleeve and everything with the extra stamps. And so that's in here. The thing has been opened just to get the stamps out and put them in that thing, but it has not been used. It's brand new. I've not even taken the plastic off. I just slid the stamps out. And this one is $20. I have to look at the prices on the other ones, but this one is $20. And I won't charge you tax or shipping. It's just flat $20. So, and I can add this to any box that's coming your way. If I do need to ship this to you special, then obviously I'll have to charge you that shipping. But anyway, if I'm already sending you something, it should be easy for me to add any of this stuff to that. So you guys know about it early, and you can let me know if you want any of those. I am going to try to post that later, but I just wanted to tell you guys, first come, first serve. Okay. So, all right. For those of you that have not signed up for, somebody said yes, please. If that was a yes, please to one of those things, please make sure you text me. It does not count telling me on here because I do not remember that kind of stuff. So make sure you text me. Just text me right now. First come, first serve. And I will get it when I get off my video. Can't see it right now, but I'll get it when I get off my video. Okay. So for those of you that haven't signed up for the August card class yet, if you're a subscriber, please be sure to confirm ASAP because I do have to get this order in right away. Last day is the 28th. That's in 3 days. So make sure you confirm and let me know if you want the add-on layout. This is the August card club, which is going to be super cute. It's so much fun. Using the Sweet Jar stamp set, which is adorable. You can use all year long, which I love stamp sets like this that you can use for birthday, for whatever. Like, it's so great. And there is a add-on die set that you can, punch. So if you want to get this together as a bundle and save 10%, you can. But you don't have to have the punch, as always, to complete the cards. You only have to have the stamp set. There is also a coordinating holiday stamp set that coordinates with the punch as well, and with all the things. So you can use these jars. They're a little bit different, and the lids are a little bit different, so you can mix and match, which is super cool. And then of course the inside parts you can use back and forth, and the sentiments, which is really nice. I love coordinating sets like this because they make it really fun. You just have like a bigger set that goes together. But you will need this one to complete the cards. Let me show you the cards real quick. We've got the happy birthday, which is so cute with the candles in the jar. I love it. We've got a shaker card, because you guys know I love my shaker cards. Sending a little love your way. We've got this cute interactive card. This one has the little 4-leaf clovers, and you open this jar, or sorry, rather pull the lid up from this jar, and it's got the sending a little luck your way, which is super cute. So we've got that one, and then the sending a little sweetness your way. And in this one, we're going to make our own designer series paper. So I'm looking forward to showing you that. I think that's super cute. So these turned out so adorable. Loving it. Hope you guys will sign up for this class. Sorry, that's a club. Again, registration closes on the 28th. And if you want the add-on layout, let me show that to you real quick. And I think it turned out so super cute. So this says sweet cookie. Of course, if you want it to say something else, let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. So just turned out super cute. Really great layout. And so that's available as well. And you can just let me know when you sign up. To sign up for any of my events, just text me and I'll help you out with that. You guys know that. Also, the September card class is now available to sign up for. Registration closes on the 7th. This is the, let me grab it. Sorry, hold on. This is the Spooky Halloween set, which is super cute. I love this. I like cute Halloween, right? Like, I'm not into scary Halloween, I'm into cute Halloween, and this is adorable. So we've got this set, and then there is an add-on die set that goes with this that you can get Spooky Halloween, and of course save 10% buying them together, or you can just get the stamp set to do the cards. That's fine too. Also, I want to point out that we have another stamp set slash bundle that you can get called Fright Night. I am using these dies in the cards. You, of course, don't have to have them, but this is a super cute set. So these sentiments all fit in this little banner. I am going to be using that on the cards. So it's one of those things that is kind of fun to have both because you can use them together. And so I've just found that I love this as a kind of a coordinating set. So if you're interested in that, I did go ahead and put that on the flyer for you so you knew the numbers for this as well. Not necessary, but you are going to need this one to complete the projects. Okay. And you don't have to buy the dies if you don't want them. You just need the stamp sets. So let me show you the projects for this one. We've got 8 sweets or any of the other sentiments that you want that are smaller. I just thought it was super cute. I love this little kitty witch. She's adorable. Spooky with little googly eyes that move around. Got our little mummy there. And we've got this fun fold / interactive card. I'll retie that later. And our shaker card. So this one has, these are the treat bags that, it's stuck. It's been in there too long today. This is the treat bags that, and you can't hear it. It doesn't shake like some shakers do because it's a flat shaker, but these do move around in here. So we've got this shaker bits type thing going on. And so you probably can't hear it. Can you hear it? Yeah, it's not very loud. So anyway, you've got little shaker bits in here and our little Happy Halloween, but it's this really pretty, like, you know, like petunia pop periwinkle type color that's like the unicorn skin. I love it. So anyway, I think these turned out super cute. Hope you like them too, and I hope you'll sign up for this class as well. Or sorry, this is a class. The other one was a club. And then the layout for that one, if you want to do the add-on layout for you scrapbookers, is right here. How cute is this? Isn't that adorable? So cute. I love the little Frankie, the little, and the witch. They're so cute. But what's so cool is the paper has other little things in it too. So you can get the full suite of products and get all the fun little guys that are in the paper and stuff too, which is really awesome. So is everybody still there? Because I haven't seen a comment in like 9 minutes. I want to make sure that I'm not having an issue. Somebody say hi, just so I know you're still there. You might just be listening, but I want to make sure y'all are still there. Okay. So anyway, registration for this closes on the 7th. Please be, okay, great. You guys are still there. Please be sure to sign up for that. If you haven't signed up for Paper Pumpkin and you're interested, text me. I'll send you my link for this too. Paper Pumpkin's awesome. You guys know this is a subscription box. If you have any questions about it, I'm more than happy to answer. We do have the absolutely adorable add-on die set for this quarter that has the acorn / strawberry dies in it, the circle and the hello, also flower and leaf. There's actually quite a few dies in this set, which is amazing for that $12 price point, which is incredible. They just try to make it better and better all the time. And I have to tell you, if you sign up by the 10th of August, you can get the August Farmhouse Florals box, and it has an extra stamp set in it for free. So now is a great time to give it a try. You can pause or cancel at any time. But if you do want to sign up with me, because I always give you the free sleeve like this to put your stamp set in. So that's one of the gifts that I send for my subscribers and my team. And sometimes there's some extra goodies in there too. So, oh yeah, and thank you for saying something about placing an order, Jeffrey, because that reminds me, you guys, if you didn't see it, today's the last day for free shipping. So if you're going to place an order, place it today because you'll get free shipping. So you were working on your drum roll. That's funny. Thanks for letting me know you were here. All right, cool. And then last but not least, if you'd like to receive my creative inspiration calendar totally for free, it's just a free gift from me to say thank you for being one of my followers. You can get this from me by adding your name to my email list by texting me your email address. It's that simple. This calendar includes all of my Facebook Lives, and then every other day has a creative prompt on it. It doesn't also include the information for my Facebook and YouTube stuff. So my channels are on there and the information about when I do my Facebook Lives. And then of course I repost those on YouTube as well. So you can see those there as well. And then all of my other contact information is over here too. So if you have any questions about this or comments, concerns about anything that I do anytime, please, you guys, let me know. I'm always here for you guys. So that's what I'm here for. That's what I love. I love helping you guys. So just let me know. All right. So now it is time for the live comment drawing. So if I can get a drum roll, I know I got one from Jean already. I will put out some goodies. Okay. So she already gave me a drum roll. I'm just gonna, I know I'm an enabler. I'm sorry. We're going to do one drawing live and then one next week. And then this one I'm going to draw today is from the previous club, which was 2 Fridays ago. And so I'm going to draw that one today as well. So we're going to be doing 2 drawings today. So let me put out some goodies. I've got some random packs of designer series paper. They're not one kind of paper, guys. They have like all different kinds of things in them. So there's one. We'll call that random pack number 1 and random pack number 2. This one does happen to have some specialty paper in it that has some, I don't remember if that's bronze or copper or gold. I'm trying to tell. Anyway, it does have some foiling in it on that one. But they're just random designer series paper packs. And then you can also get the pick for ink spots. This, Jeffrey, you think you need a 12-step program? I probably do too, let me tell you. If you choose this option, I'll send you a list of all the colors I have available that you guys can choose from, and then you just pick which 4 colors you want. You can also get a Stampin' block from me. Those are D size, or you can get the little chiseler. Now the little chiseler is not a Stampin' Up product. This is a product all its own. You guys probably know this. You saw me use it today. Saves my bacon all the time. Well, it saves my projects all the time when I make mistakes. So if you don't have one of these in your craft space, in your craft bag, etc., you need them. I'm telling you, you need them. You can buy them on Amazon if you want to, or you can save a little bit by buying them through me. I do buy them in bulk and pass the savings on to you. They're $2, or you can get them free in my drawing. So if you win, of course. So here we go. I'm going to take, no, I'm not. I'm going to do this the old fashioned way. This is a club. So I'm going to run up here and I'm going to close my eyes and go 1, 2, 3. And it landed on Jeffrey. Jeffrey, congratulations. You get to pick I did that all the time. I want to do E-R. I know, it's R-E-Y. I'm so sorry. I apologize that I always want to spell your name wrong. I don't know why I can't seem to get it right. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here to last club video. I got to get all the comments here. Open. All comments. And, sorry, I think I have to, let me make sure I've got them all open. I gotta go all the way to the bottom and make sure it actually opens all the comments. Yep, it did. Okay, good. All right, here we go. Oops, let me get to the top of them. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And our winner is Martha Moore. Congratulations to Martha Moore. I don't think she's on today. I didn't see her name go by, at least, unless I just missed it. I will let her know that she won that one. So you guys can pick your goodies for this, and then I will send those to you in your next box or whatever. All right. Ink spots, all blue. You want all blue. Okay. Whatever blue I've got, huh? Sounds good. So it is now time for the layout. If you're going to leave, thank you so much for joining us. Whether you're watching live or as a replay, Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your week. Otherwise, if you're sticking around, we're going to do the layout together. And let me grab that. Oh my gosh. So you have a pack that looks, this is what the layout looks like. So you have a pack that looks like this if you ordered the kit from me. And so this has the PDF in it, of course, that tells you all the stuff that we're going to cut. We're going to do some interesting cutting today, so you're going to learn how to do a fun cut for this layout. And if you look at this, so I don't know if you guys paid attention to this or not, so let me show you really quickly. So one of the things that we don't think about always when we do layouts is a lot of times we think, oh, well, I have to have the same color on both sides. You don't. So I have done blue on this side and white on this side, but my layout goes together because the papers all coordinate. So you don't have to have the exact same color in the background. So I wanted white on this side because I wanted the background to be a frame around these designer series papers. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. This is a super fun technique, super easy to do. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. All right. So in here you have some ribbon. Don't lose that. You've got your Inspire. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that there are 2 dots in mine. Oh, there should be. Okay. Cause there's 2 eyes in Inspire. Duh. Okay. I'm awake, I swear. So you have your Inspired eye with 2 dots for the 2 eyes. So don't lose those. I'm just going to leave them in there for the moment, and we'll get to that in a second. I swear, I am so sleepy. Okay. Also, the flower from our previous cards that I talked about at the earlier on was already cut out for you, so that's ready to go. So we're going to... I'm going to set this stuff aside for just a second. We're going to go ahead and cut out our papers because that's kind of like the first thing we need to do, right? All right, so we're going to cut, oops, did I drop something? No, I didn't. Okay. So, so I'm going to start by cutting the pieces for this side. And to do that, we're going to, let me grab my piece here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, we need the one that looks like it is, see, I don't think that piece is going to be big enough, so we're going to have to get another one. Yeah. So we need this piece here. You're going to need the whole piece. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I don't think these pieces are going to be big enough. Nope. Okay. So the ones we already cut are too short. So you're also going to need the one that looks like this. So we need this kind of vanilla branches and then the white with the blue flowers with the gold. So those are the 2 that you need. And what we're going to do to cut these, I'm going to do it together because I just feel like it works better. Does the Spooky have a die set? Oh, yes. Did you miss that? Yes. So hold on. I will answer that question. So this is the die set with the Spooky Halloween. So it has the 2 images that, and well, all 4 of these images that has the cutouts for those, right? In fact, you have 2 of the little what am I saying? The little jack-o'-lantern candy holder thingy. And then you have a broom. All right. And then it has 2 bats. It has a fence. It has the house. And then this piece you can use, it's actually really cool. I ended up not using it in my cards, but you can use it for a pop-up. You can use it for, you can use this side for a tombstone. There's several different things you can use this one for. So that's pretty cool. So that has that. And then the Fright Night also has a die set if you choose to get this one that has the eek, the boo, the 3 webs. You've got 2, the inside one cuts these out, and then this one is a layer. You've got the banner, you've got a tag a circle piece that you can cut a little circle out of your tag, and a spider. So super cute. I did use this die set for the cards as well, but you don't have to have this stamp set. This is the stamp set you have to have. But they're both really, really cute. So if you like to make Halloween cards, it's worth having both. So I made sure to just note both of them on there for you guys. They are both online exclusive, so I don't want anybody to miss out. Okay, so I'm going to open up my trimmer because we need this to be 7 3/4. 7 3/4, so 7.75. And then I'm going to rotate that and cut it at 7.75. Now, this is the trick. So for those of you that are geometry people, you're going to go, oh, I see what you did there. Because it makes more sense than trying to do it another way. So once you've done that, then you're going to take those two pieces and you're going to throw them in your trimmer like this. And I'm going to put my opposite angle. I still have both of these together. If you don't feel comfortable doing that and you want to cut them separately because you're just not comfortable holding them tight, then do that, okay? Do you suggest the suite of just stamps? Oh, the suite's awesome. Okay, that's a great question. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I'm going to answer that question because I'm sure someone else has it too. So let me show you really quickly. Sorry. It's a good question. I don't know. I'm not awake. Let me show you. So the suite has the Spooky Suite paper. It also has the, it also has a package of the iridescent treat bags. It has the stars, and it has the absolutely gorgeous, I love this, by the way, because Petunia Pop is one of my favorite colors. This like Petunia Pop iridescent ribbon, you guys. This is so pretty. Oh, I love this ribbon. I'm going to use it all the time. I think I'm going to have to like stock up on this because I have a feeling it won't stick around because, you know, it's kind of specialty. And I love the stars too. Like, oh my gosh, these are like spongy stickers. They call them stickers, embellishments, whatever. But they're white, black, and Petunia Pop, and they're like spongy. It's a really great suite, you guys. So yes, I'd buy the suite. Let me show you the paper. So you've got these other little characters on this page. They're different, of course, from the ones in the actual stamp set. But you've got a couple extra, 4 other animals here. I'm not counting the crow, but 4 other animals on this page. On the back of that, you have all the backs are kind of like this, just different tones and colors and mixes. This one is a cut apart. So you have like, I would love to do this on the bottom of a layout, but I would have had to give you guys like a whole paper pack to do that, and it's not a club, it's a class. So I couldn't do that, but super cool, right? So anyway, this you could use on the bottom of a layout, be so cute. And then you've got these here that you can use as backgrounds, and of course you can cut this up as well. And then on the back of that one is the Petunia Pop. Then you've got like the candy and the bats and the stars, and this is black and orange. I don't know what I got on there. Must have gotten some glue on there. Whoops. And then we have this one that has the windows with like this extremely perturbed cat, which cracks me up. And then like little eyes and pumpkin and stuff like that. And then the white with the orange. And then this one is another cut apart with lots of tags. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Did I count that right? Yeah. So, so 22 tags, pieces that you can cut out, because you can cut this little piece out and then pin it, or you can use this as a strip on a card, whatever, or use these as tags or sentiment pieces or whatever. So you can do tags or sentiments with these, super cute. And then that one has the gray on the back. I love the backs of these, they're so cool. And then you have 2 sheets of this, which has all these different punch outs, which are so cute. They're all really adorable. So yeah, this is a great set, you guys. This This is a wonderful paper. I think this whole set is super duper cute. So, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't show that to you before. Thanks for making me wake up and do that for you. It is a great suite. Yeah, it's super cute. Okay, where might the Jar of Joy? Jar of Joy and Sweet Jar are also online exclusives. They're both online exclusives as well. If you type in jar in the search bar, it'll pull all that up. Tool, because it will take off the glitter. Oh yes, don't use you're right. I would not use your putty to do the embellishments. Use your, you guys see me do it all the time. I use this. I don't tend to use my putty. It's a way to do it, but it depends on the embellishment. So yeah, I use my paper piercer or scissors or something. I would do the paper piercer. Okay. So anyway, back to this super cool. Club is for just the cards is $36. If you want to include the layout, it's $55. Okay. But that is a class. So club is the Sweet Jar, and then the Halloween is class. Okay, so I'm going to take these two pieces together that I'm holding nice and tight, and I'm going to put the corners in my trough here, and do this carefully, but we're going to cut, because we don't want to mess it up, we're going to cut those at an angle. And this is going to give us our 4 triangles for our piece. And so rather than trying to cut a piece that's big enough and then cutting it into 4, you cut one that's a little bit smaller, and then you rotate it like this. So those two and these two, right? So you end up with these 4 triangles like this. Okay? And that gives us a square. So it's just a really fun technique. So remember those measurements. 7 3/4 is the perfect size to do this kind of frame. And this frame gives you like about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, it was about a 1/2 inch all the way around. So it works out really nicely. So now that I've cut those pieces out, I'm going to set these aside for just a second, and I'm going to cut out what the other pieces that I need to cut out. So the other pieces are going to be for the other side. And so you should have this piece here. I'm going to cut a piece that is 5.5 by 7.5. And this is a great spot to put a 5x7 photo. However, you could put 2 smaller photos in this space. It's up to you. So I'm going to do a 5.5 by 7.5. Now, I didn't do a lot of green on this, so if you want to try to get a spot that doesn't have any green, you can, or you can just put the green in the center and then your photos will cover it up. Whatever, whether you do a big one or a small one, just kind of decide what you want to do. So a 5.5 by 7.5, and that's going to leave these pieces left over. Let's stick those back over here. And then you should have also, sorry, let's see, did I already cut one of those? I don't know, I'm trying to check. We also need a piece that is, well, it's from the same paper, but we're gonna need a different one because I don't have a space that's big enough. It depends on if you used it earlier. So for me, I'm gonna have to use another one. So I'm just gonna take this piece, and I need this piece to be, oops, sorry. I need this piece to be 2 inches by 11. So I'm gonna cut, I want this facing up, and I'm gonna cut it 2. And then I'm just going to cut 1 inch off the bottom here, and you can keep this for something else if you want. So we need that piece. And then finally, we're going to cut a few things out of this piece again for bowls and stuff. So you guys can choose which ones you want to do. I ended up doing I did this vase right here with the with one of the peach bowls. So I did this bowl here and this vase. And then I did this vase with this bowl, but you could do this bowl if you wanted to. So since it's right next to it. So this, I didn't want the same pattern. That's why I did this, or you could do this bowl, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just wanted different things, but I didn't want a lot of green on mine. I really wanted to stick with the peaches and the blues and the vanillas. So I didn't do any of the Lost Lagoon or the Old Olive, but you can if you want to, okay? So it's up to you. So mine does not have any of that. So I'm gonna do this one. And I'm gonna do this blue one up here. And I do recommend a blue and so those two are together for the first page, and then these are on top of peach, so you don't really want to do the petal pink. You want to do this and like one of the white ones. So you could either do this vanilla or this vanilla. So I'll just do this one since it's right here. It'll give Renee more to pick from. So like, oh, that's why I didn't do that one. It was because it was too much like that one. I chose this one. Sorry, Renee, I'm cutting it. She doesn't usually care, but I was going to tell you, Renee, if you want me to cut all of the vases and the flowers from this piece that I've already mangled for you, I can. So just let me know. I don't know if she's still on or not. So if you're still on, Renee, just let me know. So that way you've got them already cut out and you can use them. So I'm just going to cut, and obviously I can cut these flowers out later too. Okay, so I need these four. I've already got my flower, so I don't need to cut that out, but I've got these four that I'm going to be cutting out, so if you guys need to see those. Okay, I think that was everything. Yeah, okay. So that's all of our pieces that we're cutting out. So again, you can use your dies, or you can use your scissors to fussy cut. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my dies for these, just because since I have 4 of them, it'll go a little bit faster, but you can always fussy cut if you want to. So I'm just going to pop these on here. So we have another example of me using dies today. I always try to show just the fussy cutting in case you guys don't have the dies. Also, so I'm not too quick for those of you that don't have the dies, but you guys can always catch up if you do have to fussy cut. So we'll cut those 2 out. So I've got a question, Flo. Did you try to use the putty to mess with the stars and have that happen, or did you think of that before you did it? I'm just curious. Like, are you like me and you figure that out because you did it and you're like, oh shoot. So I lost about 4 of my black stars because my set that came in, the machine must have spit out like a double set, and they were on top of each other and they were like kind of off and weird. So I lost about 4 of those, but that's okay. It's a lot of embellishments, so it's not a big deal, but it's a ton. It's like 13 rows, so it's a lot of them. You get a ton of them. And I love them. So it's so funny to me, very often when we do these lives, you guys that are on live with me, of course, our crowd of card makers is a little bigger because more, thank you, Jeffrey. No, somebody else did. Oh, there you go. Somebody else did and told you. There you go. So you're just passing on the info. Thank you for the wisdom. It's always good to learn from somebody else's mistake. no matter what, right? So what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. Shoot. Squirrel. I don't know. I was saying something, but I've forgotten. Okay, so we've got our vases cut out. We're good to go. All right, I think we're good to go. Okay, so let me move my paper out of the way here and bring back in these. All right, so our left-hand page is going to be blue and our right-hand page is white. Then we've got our 2 piles of paper here. If yours is still in the same, I always put them in correctly, but you know, in the mail they might get all messed up. So we have a navy and a petal pink for this side, as well as the 5x7 piece and the 2x11 piece. And then on this side, we're gonna have the vanilla and petal pink pieces. And then on this side, we've got our 4 triangles that we're going to be putting down, as well as the Night of Navy, cloud cover Night of Navy. We've got the petal pink that's been run through the embossing folder, the gold foil piece. We've got a beige piece and this white piece that's going to go on top of that, and the flower and the blue vase and the vanilla cup. Okay, so I'm going to set this over to the side for the moment, and we're going to start with the left-hand page. All right, so we're going to start by adding this piece right here, and we're just going to center this side and top and bottom. Super easy to do. This is just a little accent piece. So I'm just gonna, it's about a 1/2 inch from, which will mimic the other side, the other page. And then our 5x7 is gonna go down here, and then we have, and you can choose if you want this behind or on top, it's up to you. And then we have this one over here. So I'm going to be doing it about like this. All right, so about like that. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to add this. Actually, you know what? Give me a second here. Let me take this off real quick. I'm going to put that pink piece behind, so I want to take that adhesive. I don't want to get adhesive that close to the corner. That's the wrong corner. I'm doing the wrong corner. I need this corner. So this right side corner, you don't want to put adhesive all the way over to the side. This one was fine. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. See what I'm saying? So don't put it real close to the side, because I'm going to be putting that underneath and I want to be able to stick my photo up under there. So I'm going to put this about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom and 3/4 of an inch from the side of this blue piece, this other piece of designer series paper. So about like that. Get that straight. All right, and then we'll take the petal pink piece and we're going to stick that underneath here. And I'm only going to do it about 1/4 of an inch from the top and about 1 1/4 inches from the right hand side, like that. And then the navy piece, it's going to fit right in here like so. All right, I'm going to grab this vase, will go here, and the cup will go here. And then I'm going to be putting this, by the way, this is not from a current die set. By the way, it's called Sweet Silhouettes. It is retired. So I did include it on the sheet, but I didn't put the item number just because you can't get it. So I always feel bad putting an item number there that you can't actually get a hold of. So usually when I do that, guys, in case you don't know, I put it in red or pink or some other color. It just means you can't actually get it, but I want you to know what it is. In case you have it already, you know what die set I used or whatever to make it. That way you can always do it too, if you ever want to copy. So now I got to try to get these little dots out of here. They really are static electric. I'm having a moment. Hey, Jake. Where'd it go? There it is. Hey, Jake. He's probably got his headphones on. Jake.
What?
Can you get me some gummies, please?
Ginger?
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to add my Inspire like right about here. So I'm just going to bring my vase over and my cup over right about like that. So just kind of figure out where I want it, and then I can add this down first. Kind of at an angle. Thank you. Sorry guys, my stomach's a little bit upset, so I needed some ginger. We'll add our cup. And then I'll take my Inspire word if you choose to use this. If you don't want to use this, if you want to use something else, by all means do. But I love this, so I had to use it. All right. I thought it was perfect for this set. Okay, so we're gonna add, just gonna add a little bit of glue, just a couple dots. Of course, the ends are important. Whoops. And then we'll pop this on here. I basically have an imaginary line that I'm kind of using at an angle. If you don't like that, if you want yours straight, do it straight. I like doing a little bit of an angle, but you don't have to do that. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little dot of glue, and I mean little, where the two eyes are going to go. The two dots are going to go. And then I'll grab my gummy end. Ow, I just poked myself. Ow. How many times have y'all done that with your paper piercer because you forgot to put the lid on? Ooh, I hope that didn't bleed. Okay. Would get blood all over the layout. All right, so we're just going to take these and pop these on here. Oh, come on, let go. They're so tiny. Is it still sticky? Give me a second here. Because now my glue's gone. I don't know if there's enough on there. I moved it around so many times. Try to grab the edge of it so that I can put my finger down on it. And I inevitably squish glue out of something that small, so just dab it and use different parts of your tissue so that you're not reapplying glue. And then I will show you a little tip. These are so tiny. If you want to make sure that they're completely down, just press down with like your flat part of your spatula or your bone folder. Make sure that it's completely adhered. Okay. And then we're going to add a few of the embellishments. So I'm going to grab those. And of course, you guys will get yours. I'm so sorry. Once again. So 1, 2, and one more. up here. And then over here, I'm going to do another cluster of 3. So we'll do like a large one, a small one, and another small one or large one, either way down here. Okay, so that's the first page. And then our second page is the super unique design that I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so we're going to grab all of these goodies. And we're going to start with our, I'm going to start by dropping things. We're going to start with our triangles. So, and again, you can do this with anything. So we're going to start with the blue one is going to go over here and the pink one's going to go here. And they do have their placement is in a certain place for a reason because of how I did the other colors. So you are going to want to try to do them in this order because of the other papers that we're going to be using. They will contrast the best. So this is the order that we're going to put them in. So remember, you're going to need about 1/2 inch all the way around. If you want to try to get them placed sort of basically where they go to get the idea of where they're placed. Not a bad idea, but about 1/2 inch is going to be correct. So I'm going to start with this one. And do about 1/2 inch from the side. And then just try to center it top and bottom. Now I'm not going to press down because if I need to move stuff and I don't press down, it'll be easier. So I'll do this one next. My husband's coughing to death in the other room. Are you okay? Thank you. All right. Good. Okay, so we're going to pop this, and I'm really paying attention to where they come together here, less so up here because it's hard to tell at the tip of an angle, but it's easier to tell here because you want that to all be centered. And then finally, you notice I'm still not pressing down until I've got them all in place. All right, that looks good. Pretty darn close. Now, if you want to take your bone folder and run over everything, make sure that it's down nice and flat. Not a bad idea. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? Love it. So just remember that 7 3/4 is like the perfect number for that. And yes, I did algebra, or technically geometry, to figure it out. Trigonometry? No. Whatever. All right. So we're going to do kind of a pinwheel look here. We're going to add the blue up here, the Night of Navy right here, and I'm doing all this about, I guess that's about 3/8 of an inch from the sides. We've got the gold piece that I'm going to bring in here. And this one's actually a little bit smaller, so it's not going to be exact like the other ones. And then this one will go here. So it's about like this. That's about the distance. If you want to bring this one in just a little bit, because it is a little bit different, that'll probably help out a little bit with this look. But that's how I'm going to do those. So I'm going to start with all of these. And the only reason that this one is a bit different in size is I did this at 4 by 5 1/4 because I can get more. I can get 6 out of a 12 by 12 sheet of this specialty paper, whereas these are 4 out of a sheet of the 8.5 by 11. So it just kind of works out that way. But honestly, no one's gonna probably notice when you put it together. So, but I do sometimes intentionally put this off just because that way it's less noticeable. If you try to line it up exactly with these, it won't line up perfectly. Okay. So, oh, now my nose is running. All right, add that one. We'll add this one. This one I'm going to, of course, go all the way around so that it doesn't bubble. So make sure when you put this one down, you have it where you want it, because it's going to be harder to lift up. All right, and then finally we'll do this one, and like I said, this one I'm going to do off just a little bit, or you could even do this one at an angle if you wanted to, but I don't really like the way that looks with these angles already in here, so I prefer to just bring it in and make this look intentional. Okay, and then this piece we're going to layer on to the beige. I think I called this very vanilla earlier. It's actually beige. I don't know why I said very vanilla. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's our basic beige. Same thing with these. They're basic beige. They're not very vanilla. And then I have my two pieces of ribbon. They're basically the same. So we're going to take one and we're going to add that to the back like this, just below the design basically. And then I like to add just a little bit more on top of that just so it doesn't bubble. We'll pop this on here. And you can put a photo here, or you can put use this for journaling, whichever way you prefer. We're gonna make this into a knot like so. Add a glue dot, pop it on the corner, take our ribbon cutting scissors and trim at an angle. Easy peasy. We're going to grab this piece and pop it on about center right here. I mean, when I say center, top to bottom. This piece I'm going to actually do that same little blade cut thing with that we did earlier. I just need a little bit right here in the center. Gonna pop this in here like so. Add adhesive. It stuck to my finger, so it popped out. And I'm gonna add that right here. Then we've got our embellishments, and you can of course add more embellishments. I just try not to overdo it. You guys can always add more. I don't want to do too many if you guys don't like that. So 1, 2, and one more down here. Just like that. And that is this super cute layout, which I think has a really fun technique on it. So I hope you guys like this. Isn't that cute? So cute. All right, thank you so much for joining me for today's club. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me, sorry for the hiccups, tomorrow and Sunday, sorry, at 2 p.m. Central Time for more creative inspiration, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks, guys. God bless.